You can see here I do have. And all I'm going to do is grab a 2960 switch, a couple computers. It does not matter if it's a desktop, it does not matter if it's a laptop, and a server, because obviously we need a SMTP server to be able to forward and receive this email that we are trying to access. Now, for building labs, it's always a good practice to try to, as neatly as possible, not only build your lab, but document it as well as you move forward. That way you could go back and forth to referencing it without needing to actually drill into a whole bunch of different menus and navigate all over the different topology devices you have implemented. It just helps make your life a little bit easier. Remember, being neat in networking is key to success, especially when you got to go back and try to troubleshoot something. You're not digging around and you get fed up and you just close it out. You should not be doing that. 90% of your Cisco CCNA, by the way, will be troubleshooting, right? You're not going to be doing a whole bunch of configurations. A lot of it's going to be using show commands and being able to read the output on your screen to determine what's going on. So just a little FYI for your exam takers. But for now, let's go ahead and start naming these. I'm just going to name this guy the IP address I'm going to use, 172.16.4. Let's say he's 10. We'll just keep it standard, and I'm going to name him admin, okay? And as you can see there, it didn't really put a space there. That's okay. And then here we're going to do 172.16.4.20 and space, and he's going to be staff, just so we could go back and reference it a little bit easier. And then our server is going to be 172.16.4.30. Plugging these cables in, we're going to plug them into the switch. Again, it just does not matter. We're not doing any switch configurations for this example. This will set you up so you can now take how to configure an SMTP server and go back, watch some of the other videos that I told you about, like the VLANs and trunks one, and then try to set up the SMTP server on other networks so you can see the cross communication, not only just from a local area network as far as like a layer 2 environment, which we have here, but through a WAN network or through a layer 3 type network. So the next thing we need to do is actually configure the NICs on these computers. And the reason why we got to do this is because down here we just named them. That's just more or less a visual reference. So here we're just going to type it in, and this is just like configuring your NICs on your actual computers, right? That's all that is. Now we do not need to worry about a gateway because we're not routing, so just an IP address and a subnet mask, and bada bing bada boom, we're good to go. We're going to go over to the staff computer here, desktop IP configuration, and he's going to be 172.16.4.20 and 255.255 for the subnet mask, and the SMTP server will go to this guy, 172.16.4.30. Tab that out, and bada bing bada boom. Now we could just click the X here. Now what we need to do is actually go to services, down to email, and set a domain name. I'm going to go ahead and use learntechtraining.com, and you just hit set. Now this domain name, don't forget, is hypothetical. It's virtual. It doesn't exist. So you could create it whatever you want. You could use Dell.com. You could use Walmart.com. You could use I really don't care about this video.com or I'm loving this video.com, right? It just does not matter. It's virtual. So the next thing you need to do is set up a couple usernames, accounts for this email to be able to pull from. So it could say, hey, I could use this email to send and receive emails. That's basically what we're doing. Here we're just going to say admin, and the password will be Cisco, just to keep things simple. And for our second user, we could just say staff, and the password will again be Cisco. Again, as simple as you can make your labs. That way, as you're moving forward, you can put more difficult concepts into practice, the easier it's going to be for you. So now we could go ahead and close him out. One other thing that's a good FYI tip is to test your network connectivity as you go. And the reason for this is if you're starting at A to go into B, going to C, going to D, so you have A, B, C, D, right? And all of a sudden, you get all the way to D and something's not working. Well, where in this process of different configurations you were making did you go wrong? So when you go from A to B, give it a quick test. When you go to B to C, give it a quick test. That way, you could eliminate the amount of different things that you implemented that could have gone wrong, and you got to do that much more troubleshooting. So just as a quick little test here, I could go to my command prompt. I could say ping, and just ping the SMTP server 172.16.4.30, and without any issue, we have communication. So on this admin computer, we need to go down here to email. And the first name, well, we could just name him admin. Email address would be admin at, well, what do you think? What was the domain name that we set? It was learntechtraining.com. Incoming mail server, since we don't have a DNS server set up where we could usually just use the domain for it, because DNS resolves an IP address to a naming system, right? Our domain names. So since we don't have that set up, we just need to use the IP address. Remember, we never really communicate through a network based on a host name. Even a domain name, that means nothing in networking. That domain name is going to translate using DNS, or rather DNS is going to translate that name to an IP address. All network communication happens through the IP address. So because of that, we could still use this actual IP address and it will work. And our outgoing mail server address is the same as well. Now the username again will just be admin and the Cisco password that we gave it before. Save that. Let's go ahead and go into our staff computer here. Again, we're going to do the same thing. This time he's going to be staff. Email address will be staff@learntechtraining.com. And then incoming servers will be 172.16.4.30. And outgoing is 172.16.4.30. Username is staff, and password yet again is Cisco. Let's go ahead and save that. We could close these windows out. I could click any of the computers. We're going to go ahead and compose, okay? And since I'm on the admin computer, I'm going to send it to the staff computer. So we could say staff@learntechtraining.com. Subject, I'm loving this SMTP video. And for the subject or the body of the email, we could say, please do not forget to subscribe to Learn Tech Training on YouTube. All right, awesome stuff. See what I did there? Kind of cross promoting. Just kidding. But please do subscribe. I want you guys to subscribe. That way you could learn, I could teach, right? Hit send. Let's go ahead and close this out. Let's go to our staff computer. Let's go to the email option down here. Click the receive icon and bada bing and bada boom. Please do not forget to subscribe to Learn Tech Training on YouTube. That is the body, that is the message that we just sent from the other computer. We could even take it a step further. Let's go ahead and click reply. And I will be sure to subscribe, Keith. Cool, so now we could hit send. Let's go back to our admin computer. Let's go ahead and click email, click receive, and there it is. And you can see our original message and you can see our new bodied message that we replied to. So that is a very, very simple way. Subscribe. You can put anything in here you want. I'm just doing this to be goofy. But click send. Now you can see it's generating a little packet to actually set up an SMTP server. Since I have a couple more minutes here, I did say I would like to show you guys how to capture that SMTP packet going through the network. So to do this, it's very simple. Follow my mouse down here to the right hand corner of your screen, click the stopwatch looking icon, go back to one of your computers, it does not matter which one. Click email, click compose. We're going to go back to staff@learntechtraining.com. We could say this is to see captures, right? And again, do not forget to subs here. I could go ahead and close this out. We're going to just move this up. Auto capture. Ooh, did it go? Nope, I missed it.